here you are. Allow me to go, but the one.
Yeah, we know all this.
There will be time first.
Okay.
I would recognize that anywhere, and yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it?
I took it from her.
You vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it. You have put me in an impossible position. If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium humiliated and alone. I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery and savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I have witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Proserpine was a fool to have ever
we are gonna have to run.
This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
Oh, we just want to return to the world.
Very well. I will have Carol make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
Why?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have
the
taken
time
what will
paradox.
become now.
Yes, I'm ready.
You had best pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
Okay, so how come we never could get that one? I talked to her and I talked to her. Okay. Well.
Oh.
We've been through this.
Hi there. Well, know who you are. Oh, did that look? I'm fairly fortunate. Apparently, they believe that an orc saving prevent for
Yeah, we went through all this.
Anyway.
I'm right behind you. Okay. We're going to return to the river.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment.
Yeah, we know that.
You go on ahead.
Okay.
You're back. But... why don't you... Really? Ow!
Kinda lost track of time in there. And there was a tablet.
Sounds like quite a story. You two look...
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are
Okay. 1 year later, and it's the white hallway.
I read your book. After everything you've... So after we got back, why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
Okay. Let's go see who all we have here. There's Valerius.
You're finally here. Remember me? It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Karen appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the Underworld and giving us a second chance at life.
Okay.
Oh, I used Karen's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course. It's hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I know! I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're gonna be around, we'd love to see you there.
I'd love it. Count me in.
Of course, there's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you, so you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
Okay. So that was Valerius. It's
You're
Equitia.
here. It's so wonderful to see you again.
Good to
So,
see you too,
you're the
Equitia.
hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable.
Okay, what are you doing with
Valerius
yourselves?
and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family, and Dooley too, of course. It
Of
feels
course.
like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us, for all of us.
Okay, how's
Oh,
Livia?
it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself.
I'll do that. It was
See
good
you
to
at the
see
wedding,
you.
I hope.
Okay, Julie.
Hello, I'm Dooley.
Yep.
Valerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place. I didn't like it. I live at Valerius and Equitia's house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget things, like brushing my teeth. Treasure? Oh, I forgot about that. I like my box now. Valerius got me a box that tells stories. It's my favourite thing.
I'm glad you're happy.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's see. Who do we have here?
Hey,
Horatius.
Hi there, I'm Horatius.
Hi,
I
Horatius.
understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life, and reuniting Centilla with us as well. So, thank you.
Okay, what are you doing with
I'm living
yourself?
up north and studying in the military academy in Modena. I'm going to be an officer one day. The world's changed a lot, but some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca. Still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace the new. As Seneca wrote, the ones who pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides. Ah, you remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, As those who rode behind triumphant generals remind them they are mortal, remind yourself your precious one isn't one of your possessions, but something given for now, not forever. Thanks. Oh, and I don't know if you've heard, but a few of us are going for drinks later. It'd be nice to chat with you some more.
Okie dokie.
Right.
Whatever
It's not
happens,
my-
it'll meet us.
Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC, so he started some kind of underground blood sport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts. And they say he made some good coin, killing a bunch of men like that. But his luck finally ran out, and his life along with it. You know what they say. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yep. That's a shame.
Perhaps.
Okay, it was good
See
to
you
see you,
at drinks later.
Horatius. And, oh, we'll go over and talk to them. Let's see who this is. Cynthia.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming. Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius after what happened. I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple. She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern all that time.
Yep,
But
I knew
he's been
that.
dealt with. He's... you know what? The important thing is we'll never see him again.
Okay, what are you doing with
Anything
yourself?
I want. I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever and do whatever I please. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere.
Cynthia.
He's still there, all alone. The last golden statue in the Underworld.
Wow.
Trapped in a metal shell, slowly losing his mind until the end of time. Eternal torment. Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
Wow.
Then I suppose he got his wish.
Okay, good to
You
see
too.
you, Cynthia.
See you around.
So who's over here? Lulia.
You're here. It's so good to see you again. How are you? I wanted to come here and
alright.
thank you again for saving my life. And of course, getting me and all of us out of a terrible situation.
What are you doing these
I
days?
barely recognize myself. I'm living in a house share in London with my wonderful girlfriend. And I'm studying English at university. Eventually I want to travel the world and write about it. Turns out, it's about 30 times bigger than the Roman Empire ever was. Did you know there are entire continents Rome never knew existed? And you can travel almost anywhere in an aircraft, which is rather like flying on a Pegasus, but much more comfortable. Oh, sorry, you already know all that, of course. I'm just so excited. There's so much to see and learn and write about. I have noticed people from your time have no idea how fortunate they are. I hope to change that. One day.
Some of us do. Whatever happened to Malleolus and Claudia?
Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the Roman Empire, and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital. As for Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the Underworld. After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude? Thank you. You're very kind.
What happened to
Someone
Aurelia?
told me she was boasting about getting her claws into some rich prince, and how she was going to be living the high life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently he'd proposed before they'd even met. And last I heard, she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it? Nigeria? Some people have all the luck.
Nigeria.
Well, you are the Oracle, so I suppose I'll take your word for it. I feel better already. Thank you. You too. If you're ever in London, let me know. We can go to bars and drink wine and listen to the stories of the 9 million people who live there.
Yep. I'll
hope
take you
so.
up on that. And this must be... Oh, it's Lucretia.
You are here. It's nice to finally meet you.
Hey, Lucretia.
Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all trying to keep a low profile. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So,
What are you doing
I'm
with
studying
yourself?
to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world, begrudgingly, one patient at a time.
It was
You
good to
too.
see you,
Don't be
Lucy.
a stranger.
Oh, we have quite a few others to talk to here. Let's see, who's Georges?
Greetings.
Hello.
You must be the legendary Oracle. It is a sincere privilege to finally make your acquaintance. I am Georgius. I am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that I am most grateful. I am reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling. Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the Underworld and won.
Okay, I'll be there. It's
You
good
too,
to
my
see ya. And this is Fabia.
You're the one we've been waiting for. I'm Fabia.
Hi, Fabia.
I wanted to say thanks for sending Valerius to save my life.
Museum, is it
I
not?
don't know how you knew, but I would have been crushed by that shrine for sure.
You're welcome.
I'm just so happy to be here with you and everyone together again, even if it's just for one more night.
What are you doing with
Well,
yourself?
Not like I have to work with all the silver Karen gave me, so I just do what makes me happy. Mostly that means baking for my friends and looking at memes while binging TV shows in yoga pants. What a time to be alive.
Oh boy. Glad you're
Thank
happy.
you. I really am.
Okay.
You too.
Wow, we have a lot more people to go. Okay, so this is the hermit philosopher. He even escaped.
I take it you're the oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. We have. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip. I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive.
Yep.
And it seems I have your catabasis to thank for it.
Let's see, what are you doing with yourself
I'm
these
working
days?
as a consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University, helping fill the odd gap in their knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again.
Have
My
fun.
sincere thanks once again.
Okay. Who is this one? Octavia.
Oh, hello. It's lovely to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Nice to see
I'm
you.
thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit the likes of us. But thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it.
What are you doing
I'm living
these
in Rome
days?
again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber. Not far from my old place. Oh, and I'm training to be a crisis counselor.
Oh, really?
After you sent Galerius to persuade Ulpius not to take his own life, I was inspired. I just want to spend the rest of my life helping people, like you helped him.
Aww.
Thank you. That means a lot.
It was good
And
to
you.
see you. Okay,
Good evening.
this is Livia.
Greetings.
Are you sane now?
Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all. In all the time I was in the Underworld, I never once imagined that I might end up in a place so much like Elysium.
Okay, what are you doing with yourself?
I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while, at least until I'm well enough to be independent again. You remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of poetry to catch up on now. I'm already up to the 19th century, and am quite enjoying the work of a fellow named Poe.
Poe, of course.
I think I may have found a kindred spirit.
That's funny.
Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence.
Haha, well said. It's good
And
to see you again.
Farewell, friend.
Okay, now who's lounging over here?
Some soiree, innit?
Decius? Wow.
Ah, hello at last. You must be the oracle I've heard so much about. I'm Decius.
Hi,
Listen,
Decius.
I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics I accumulated. Whatever you did in that temple made me a very wealthy man. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Most gracious of you.
What are you
I took the
doing?
money I made from selling my trinkets and started investing in the stock market. That's where the real money is now. In fact, I was hoping to ask your advice, you being the oracle and future seer and all that, on which stocks I should invest in next. I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling and arms. What would you recommend?
Oh, wow.
Oh, don't be like that. You can tell your old pal Decius. I won't take no for an answer.
Let's see. Broadcast
Oh,
television.
of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing. I'll go home and buy up as much stock as I can tonight. I'm going to make a bloody fortune. Of
Okay.
course, don't let me keep you. Thanks again for the tips, my friend.
You know, I haven't even looked at any of these signs. Please keep off the furniture, and he's right there. Okay. Well, we're getting near the end. This is Caboche. Wow.
It is an honor to finally meet you, Oracle.
So everybody got saved.
You know my name? Oh, of course. You are an oracle. You know many things. I too would like to offer my thanks for releasing us from that place and for your role in bringing us here. This world is truly wondrous.
What are you
For
doing?
a time, I returned to Alexandria, but they have no need of another fisherman. And I came to see there is nothing for me there. Instead, I have decided to follow the custom of your youths and backpack the world. It is a great adventure, and I have met many people from many cultures. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Now, I think it is time I had some fun.
That sounds like fun.
Indeed.
It was good to
Thank
see you
you,
again,
Oracle.
Caboche. Okay, was there supposed to be someone here? I don't know. This is Rufius.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you too,
Go by
Rufius.
Rufus now. New start, new name. Oh, and thanks, by the way, for what you did. Sorry, I'm no good with the mushy stuff.
Oh, so what are you doing?
I live with Virgil in Rotterdam.
Of
Not
course.
far from where he grew up. It's very modern. Destroyed in the war, and it rebuilt itself. Good place for a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time.
I suppose so. It turns out you were right. The statues really were watching us.
Good to know. Anyway, it was good practice for the new world. Security cameras and smartphones everywhere.
True.
Got to stay vigilant.
True. Okay, good to see you, Rufus.
You too. Look us up next time you're in the Netherlands. We're grateful.
Okay. How many adventures do you get all the thank yous? Virgil.
It's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Good to see you, Virgil.
I wanted to thank you personally for getting us out of there. And for helping Rufus come to terms with himself. He may come off a little gruff, but once you get past that, he's a lovely fellow.
What are
I'm
you
studying
doing
to be
these
an
days?
architect again, and living with Rufus in our beautiful flat in Rotterdam. Just down the river from Nijmegen, where I grew up. Of course, it's improved immensely since I was there last. Gleaming futuristic buildings and clean streets full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are.
It's good to see you, Virgil.
As Rufus said in his own laconic way, if you're ever in the Netherlands, we'd love to show you around. It's the least we could do.
I'll take you up on that. Okay. Who's over here? Scintilla.
Hello there.
Hi, Scintilla.
I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him.
Oh boy. Had no
Don't worry.
idea.
Nobody did.
What are you going to do with
I'm
yourself?
living with Ulpius on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's even more wonderful than I dreamed it would be. I'm so grateful to you for making sure he's still with us.
So it was
If you're ever
Ulpius
passing
that-
through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. You can try some of our very own wine.
I might just do that.
Thanks. You too.
So they were having a little affair. Cool.
It's nice to finally put a face to the name. I'm Ulpius.
And you can't trust anyone.
I understand I have you to thank for sending Valerius to save my life. The way you just showed up out of the blue and stopped me from making a terrible mistake. I'll be forever in your debt. I'm living with Gabriella in Umbria. We finally bought the little vineyard we always dreamed of. It'll be a little while before we know what we're doing, but every day I look at her and this extraordinary new world with all its beauty, and I think, what if I'd given up hope? And missed out on all of this. So we're living each day to the fullest. And we end them all the same way, sitting together on our terrace with a glass of our wine, which the locals say is almost drinkable now, and watching the sunset with a running hillside. And I couldn't be happier.
Perfect.
Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you. You
Good
too.
to see you, Ulpius. Okay, now, what's down here? Lots of things to see. Wow. And is this... No, we met Valerius. Who is this?
There you are.
Oh, it's
I hope you
Al.
enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
Oh, Proserpina.
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time.
I recognize that voice.
Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention.
You were whispering to me all
Indeed.
along.
Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected.
You did what you could, thank you. And you created the time loop.
I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of a cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. So I whispered to Sentius in secret, telling him the prayer required to create a portal in my shrine. I knew the danger of humans being corrupted by godly power, and so I put a safeguard in place. I required the creator of the portal to sacrifice their own life, so that it could only be used selflessly, to help others. What I did not anticipate is that Sentius would retain his accumulated memories from each previous day, and as a veteran soldier he had long since shed his fear of death. He quickly discovered that he could, in effect, prolong his own life indefinitely by exploiting the cycle. Of course, once I had taught him the prayer, I could not unteach him, and there was little I could do but wait for someone like you to come along and see him for what he was.
Well, there you go.
Fortunate you came along when you did.
What became of Pluto?
I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him.
He
and I
probably
rather
went
hope it
off
stays
with
that
all
way.
the other gods. And Karen?
Oh, she inherited dominion over the Underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all will, one day.
Okay, it was nice
And
meeting you.
Although it feels like I've known you forever.
Well, you have.
Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city?
Yep.
Good, because they remember you. Well done, my friend.
Look at
Of
that.
all the heroes who ever journeyed to the Underworld in return, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
Yay for us. We are the hero. That was ending 4 of 4. Okay. I don't know what endings 1, 2, and 3 are, but that was pretty cool. So it was a rather long and involved game, but I did enjoy it. And, you know, if you're interested in mythology or any of that, which I am, then I guess the game would have even more meaning to you. It was kind of fun to get to know the people and to figure out how to solve their problems. Sometimes repeating conversations got a little old, a little cumbersome, but that's okay. And I kind of like that ending. It's not every day in every adventure game, as I said earlier, that you actually get recognized by every one of the characters for what you did for them. So that was pretty cool too. So all in all, I rather enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And if you did, maybe leave a like, leave a comment. Consider joining my channel because I do a lot of adventure games, some horror games, puzzle games, mostly the adventure type, similar to this one. So if you did enjoy it, consider joining my channel. And if not, well, then I apologize. And maybe you could leave a comment on what you think I could do better. or what could be different. So I'll let these credits scroll. Another comment about the game. I guess the graphics were okay. They weren't amazing. They were okay. The storyline was kind of interesting. The trying to live life over and over again the same day, kind of like Groundhog Day, and but improve it each time was rather interesting. And really, as far as puzzles go, that wasn't too hard. I mean, the puzzles weren't really puzzles to me. They were more just trying to put together the pieces, like solving a mystery. I did like the little mini adventures, going down underground in Diana's temple and looking for all the other worlds down underneath the city, under Pluto's temple, I guess it was, and hearing how each nation built up on each nation. That was kind of cool to hear about. So in a way, it's a fun game and it's an educational game, both. Either way, I hope you did enjoy as much as I did, and I will see you again in the next adventure. We'll just let these credits scroll, and we'll see you again later. Bye-bye for now.